full control.
So let me tell you something.
Okay.
Holocaust survivor.
Okay.
Had his bar mitzvah at 80 years old.
Baruch Hashem.
Does that mean that the Yetzer Atov didn't start until 80?
No. Yetzer Atov starts at an actual age, 13 years age. Yeah. Doesn't matter if he had a bar mitzvah or not.
So what happened was,
It's just that his Yetzer Atov was in a coma for 67 years.
Okay. So the reason why I mentioned that is because shortly after, his daughter died.
Okay.
And then his wife.
Then his wife, yeah.
And then he had a stroke. All in one, like, very, very short time.
No.
Now he doesn't believe in HaShem, or he's angry with HaShem, or whatever.
Right.
How does he come back to TeShuva after such a traumatic thing?
Listen to
Holocaust, the whole thing, his family.
Holocaust, then his wife dies, then his daughter, then Parnassah is very good. Okay. There's a pasuk in the Torah. Parashat Vayetchanan. One before, last pasuk. Meshalem el sonav el panav le'avido. HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays his haters cash to their face to destroy them. Meaning, who are these haters? Who are these haters of Hashem? We're going to find out from this week's parasha. HaKadosh Baruch Hu says in this week's parasha something fantastic that every person needs to know and have this in your front of your mind at all times, because you're going to know exactly who Hashem thinks is good and who Hashem says is my enemy. This is chapter 20, verse number 5. לא תשתחווה להם ולא תעבדם כי אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך אל קנה פוקד עוון אבות על בנים על שילשים ועל ריבעים לשונאי ועושה חסד לאלפים לאוהבי לשומרי מצוותיי. So in chapter 20 verse number 5 and 6, Hashem says, I am a jealous God who visits the sins of fathers upon children to the third and fourth generation for my enemies. Who are these enemies? But who shows kindness for thousands of generations to those who love me and observe my commandments. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu defines clearly who are his lovers and who are his enemies. He says, my lovers are the ones that keep my mitzvot. My enemies are the ones that don't. So which means that your friend at 80 years old that didn't keep Shabbat, didn't keep Torah, didn't keep mitzvot, did not know that he was God's enemy for a long, long time. Now, when he started, he did his bar mitzvah at 80 years old, kol hakavod, he was going in the right direction. But now he got some tests.
It was a surprise.
He got some tests, and he got a shell shock, and lo aleinu lo alechem that you would get such tests. But the point is that he got shaken up. But in reality, Hashem says, listen, there was many crimes that you made in the last 80 years. You are my enemy, and now I'm accepting you back. But you have to understand that there's still a bill due. It's not like the bill goes away just because you stopped sinning. If you shot somebody and killed him, even if you say I'm sorry, it doesn't fix the death. He's still dead, even if you said I'm sorry 1,000 times. If you violated Shabbat for 80 years, and you say, I'm sorry, I'll come and do TeShuva, okay, it doesn't necessarily automatically fix the last 80 years. There's still something there. So, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, if you don't keep my mitzvot, you are my enemy. Now, why does the enemy get a lot of money many times? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu says in Parashat Vayetchanan that those that are my enemies, I pay them cash to their face. Why cash to their face? To destroy them. Meaning, if someone chooses to be an enemy of Hashem, Hashem says at some point in their life they do things good even if they don't mean it. They take a little bit of money and they give it to a homeless guy. They take some money and they give it to yeshiva. They say thank you to someone. They do some stuff that are good just because. Hashem says that good, whether he meant it or not, I'm still going to reward him for it. But I can't reward him in Gan Eden. He's not going to go to Gan Eden. He's my enemy. So I have to reward him in this world. So what? He gave some homeless guy $100? Okay, I'll give him a hotel. Oh, he said thank you to that woman to make her feel good? Okay, I'm going to give him a kid. Oh, he said he did this mitzvah. He put on tefillin once in his life. Okay, I'll give him another building. I'll give him a car. I'll give him a good wife. I'll give him all. Hashem gives the guy a bunch of things in his world. Why? He has to give him all the reward just in this world. Because as soon as he's finished, he's finished. So the fact that he got a lot of parnasah when he wasn't keeping mitzvot is a horrible sign. It's a horrible sign. The fact that he was starting to go on the right track is good, but then he fell off. He's back on the horrible side. Now it's very, very hard to change at 80 years old. It's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. But I could assure you that at some point, hopefully before it's too late, he'll realize that he's wrong. Hopefully before it's not too late. The only way to do it is to explain to him by sending him this shiur, the first half hour that we spoke, hour, whatever it was, of why does a person get tests when he just starts getting closer to Hashem. Once, he probably never heard this explanation. He thought that once he does tshuva, puts on tefillin, everything is supposed to magically go well for him.
I know the bar mitzvah was a surprise he didn't even know.
Oh, so it wasn't even intentional. So point is that he has to understand that Hashem doesn't owe you anything. Hashem doesn't work for you and he doesn't dance to your tune. If you've gone against Hashem for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and all of a sudden you decide to stop, that doesn't mean that Hashem owes you anything, because you're still in debt. When a person understands the magnitude of sin, he simply lives life differently. I'll give you something that I heard today from Rav Kaufman, from Eretz Yisrael. He says, the Bet HaLevi, we did a whole series of bitachon about him. The Bet HaLevi, every day he would take a candle, it was a fire, he would put his fingers in it and take it out every day, his whole life. Towards the end of his life, his hands, his fingers simply became burned. Lost the ability to function. Someone asked, why? Why do you burn your fingers? He says, I want to already get into my mind what it's going to feel like to be in Gehenom. I want to know already now. I want to have it in my mind just in case the Yetzer Hara shows up and tells me to go do this and go do that and go do this. I already felt Gehenom today. No interest. And I know the Gemara Masechet Brachot says that the fire in this world, the best fire, highest fire, most powerful fire, is less than a 60th of the power of the lowest fire in Gehenom. So the Bet HaLevi that understood what sin is says, I'm going to take a fire, I'm going to burn my finger a little bit just to have a reminder the whole day it's going to hurt. The whole day it's going to hurt, this finger that you burnt. That's going to remind me it's good to have a little burning here than a lot of burning over there. So a person understands Hashem runs the world. Hashem has reward and punishment. Hashem does not want to punish you. But when he punishes you, it's because you gave him no choice. When a person understands this, and also understands that this world is limited, and whatever you do here is limited, all the money you have here can only be used here, you cannot take it anywhere else. All of the honor you have here, you cannot take with you anywhere else. No one cares if you were a CEO of anything in Shemaim. No one cares if you invented the iPhone or the iPad. No one cares if you're a movie producer or a president of a country. The only thing they care about in heaven is whether you fulfilled the Torah or went against it. That's the only thing that matters. When a person understands this basic principle of Judaism, called reward and punishment, they change. They change. Why? Because now they know that everything has a price, including the sins.